Good evening and welcome to the latest edition of Survive and Advance, starring the Hermits of St. Augustine. Welcome to Paul Rodeo Gymnasium on this Monday evening. Much better evening for basketball. As we remember Friday when we were here, snow was falling upon us. Today it feels like spring outside. What a difference a day makes.
That's what happens. You come in, you pull into the school tonight. The track team's out there, the rugby team, the baseball team, they're ready for spring. But I can tell you the basketball team is not ready for spring just yet.
No, we are into the semifinal round of the NJSI AA South Jersey non-public A semifinals. We're here in the final four, if you will. Dave Catalano along with yours truly, Fred Melendez. And tonight, Dave, the challenge is going to be stiff because we have two teams that are basically identical this season, 21-6, both of them. St. Augustine looks like they're going to have to deal with a bit of a height issue tonight, though.
Well, they're going to have to deal with a bit of a height issue, and they are very similar in a lot of ways. Record is the first thing.
Absolutely.
And these are very storied programs. I see Coach Rodeo over there talking with Coach Crawford, the elder Coach Crawford, who's an assistant for his son on there. And you're talking about a lot of games they've been around. But what's vastly different about these two teams is the style of play. Camden Catholic wants a slow tempo, slow style, walk it up, game in the 40s or 50s, and we know St. Augustine wants to get out and run.
That's right. And both teams coming off rather different results in the quarterfinals. We were here for the Paul VI game that went right down to the wire. St. Augustine pulling away at the very end with some key free throws from Charlie Solomon to win that one 62-61. Meanwhile, basically a cruise control type of game for Camden Catholic. They beat Bishop R 69-27. So you kind of wonder what kind of mentality they're going to bring into this game. I know they're going to be ready.
Well, we've talked about that it's not a really strong parochial non-public A this year, and even with that, there's been a couple of upsets. CBA got upset the other night, so really the team that wins this game, and neither of these coaches are thinking of that moving ahead, but who wins this game is really set up well to represent South Jersey in a final. So, you know, everything's on the line, but St. Augustine here at home is obviously a huge advantage for them. But it really is going to come down to who can impose their will on the other team and play the style that they want to play.
I know you've got the keys coming up, but in my mind, execution and turnovers are two of the biggest ones. We'll see which team handles both of those better. And, of course, we have our final Coach's Corner of the season present to you as Dave Catalano sits down with Hermits head coach Paul Rodeo. Let's see what they have to say about tonight's game.
And we are here in our Coach's Corner. Dave Catalano along with St. Augustine head coach Paul Rodeo. And this is our last broadcast, Coach. Hopefully it's not your last game for the year.
We hope not.
But we're into the playoffs. The state tournament now, the NJSA. Nice win the other night against Paul VI. And to me, that game was very much like your whole season. There were times in that game where things just weren't going right for you guys. It didn't look like you had an answer to certain things they were doing. And next thing you know, you guys go on a run.
We've kind of been that way all year, and we're hoping that maybe we lean a little bit more towards playing a little bit better for a longer period of time tonight. You're going to need it as you extend in the playoffs. And with Christian Brothers losing the other night, it opens up the winner of this game should be in the favorite coming in on Wednesday night. So we know that, so it puts a little bit more emphasis on it for us.
Well, one of the things about the game the other night that we kept remarking on was certain parts of the game you needed someone to step up. I think early on Marlon did some good things, scored for you. You certainly had that fourth quarter where Charles just took over inside. There was even some smaller plays in between. Travis made a nice move to the basket. Jordan Kendrick, who probably played one of his worst games, hits a huge three-pointer for you in one sequence. But all of it really, the game that Kevin Foreman played, I mean, I don't know if you get a win if you don't get an effort like that.
The two sequences that we talked about in practice the other day is I thought Matt Delaney had a good 3 or 4 minutes towards the end of the second quarter. And Kevin Foreman was probably the difference. His steal at the end of the third quarter followed it right up with a three, propelled us into that fourth quarter and gave us the momentum we needed to get the victory.
It's the kind of team that you've had all along. It's never been one pleasant. You know, Marlon's done a lot of the heavy lifting for you, but for the most part, it's always been someone different. And when you get a spark out of a Matt Delaney, when he comes into the game, he was pumped up. He looked like he was, really ready to go. He hit the big shot there. You get that spark. What does that do for, the confidence of the team when someone like that does it for you?
I mean, he's a young kid. He's a 14 or 15-year-old freshman freshman put in that position and makes those plays, the kids are rooting for him. It spurs us on. It gets us going, gets the juices going. And in a tournament, that might be all you need is that one little spurt. And that's what I keep telling him. You don't know who it is tonight. It could be someone else. You've been with me long enough to know we've picked a Scotty Pfeiffer along the way, and always have one kid that maybe is not supposed to be the guy that hopefully is enough to get you through.
Well, in a one-point game like it was, it's always going to be something, and you came right down to it. Kid got a pretty good look on the last shot. I don't know, it looked like Marlon might have gotten even a piece of it. It falls short. You guys survive and move on to play this Camden Catholic team. Now, you don't play Camden Catholic a whole lot, but you guys have played similar teams. You both have played Atlantic City, Wildwood Catholic, you played Eastern, both played Paul VI. What can you get out of those games?
They're very similar to how they've been for the last 25, 30 years. Very good half-court sets. They run their stuff extremely well. They want to keep the score down into the 40s or 50s. They're not flashy, but they never look flashy. They always get done what they want to do. Very good defensively with their zone. We're hoping tonight to make some holes in that zone and be able to shoot the ball a little bit better and get the tempo going. If we could get the tempo going our way and make things happen a little quicker than normally, I think it will help us and maybe put us in a good position.
What can you take from a game like the Eastern game earlier, where the two brothers that coach the team, they play similar styles? What can you take from that?
It's tough to take a lot because it was opening night. Eastern's best player wasn't eligible yet, so they played without their best player. Both brothers know each other, and we watched that tape yesterday because if there's anybody who knows how to approach that 2-3, it would be his brother. But it really was very vanilla, that game, if you watched it, so there wasn't a lot to really get out of that one.
Well, we don't ever want to. I know you're not looking ahead. You never want to do that, but you mentioned there have been some upsets in the bracket, and this we said was not a traditionally. A is much stronger, not as strong this year, and there's been some upsets, so hopefully you can advance here. As we always say, you want to survive, advance to the next one, and hopefully you can get there. It will be our last broadcast, but hopefully, again, not your last game. So, Coach, thanks for a great year.
Thank you very much for all you guys have done for high school basketball.
We appreciate you taking the time with us. We appreciate everyone at SNJ doing it. I know your sponsor, Toyota Violin, Bob McCormick, a good friend of the program, has helped us out.
Great guy. Great operation. I've bought a couple cars there myself.
Well, we're going to have that playoff game for you coming up right now. 21-6 St. Augustine taking on 21-6 Camden Catholic, and we'll have it for you next on SNJ Today.
Just about showtime here at the Paul Rodeo Gymnasium for the semifinal round of the NJSIAA South Jersey Non-Public A tournament. St. Augustine versus Camden Catholic. Again, we mentioned both teams with identical 21-6 records. Some of the players that we're going to definitely see, or just to familiarize yourself a little bit with Camden Catholic, they had 3 players in double figures in their big win over Bishop R, led by number 13, Dominic Dunn. He tossed in 25 points, so he's obviously going to be somebody that Coach Rodeo's team's going to have to focus on.
He's the kind of kid that can score from a lot of different places. He can shoot it from all over the place. He's a very confident player. He's going to come out. I would anticipate St. Augustine probably putting maybe Marlon Hargis, maybe a little bit of Travis Stoll on him to try to stop him. And the other thing that you have to stop when it comes to Camden Catholic is the 2 big guys inside, and don't let them hurt you on the glass.
And we're going to have fun with at least one of these names. Let's see if I can practice here. Babatunde Ajike.
Very well.
We'll have fun trying to trip over that all night, but he is another player that's put some points on the board. Again, against Bishop R, he tossed in 18 points, and meanwhile, Uche Okafor joined them in double figures with 11. So 3 players in double figures, so they get points from a few different places.
Well, the things that you want to look at with a team like Camden Catholic, they don't score a lot of points, so you're not going to see the gaudy numbers of any one player, but those are the 3 guys that you really have to look at. Dunn from shooting from outside, Ajike and Okafor inside scoring off of the missed shots. St. Augustine's going to have to do their work on the defensive glass.
And, of course, St. Augustine would like to get a better start than they did against Paul VI. They looked shaky at times during that first half, but they had the bench players come in. Foreman did a great job coming in off the bench, and Delaney, those two guys in particular, seemed to steady the boat a little bit.
They did, and whatever happens here, this is where both of these teams are trying to get to tonight. As you see in the other brackets, kind of St. Joe Metuchen, the 3 seed, has moved on, did beat Bishop Eustace. But at the bottom part of that is where Red Bank Catholic has upset Christian Brothers. So that's going to be the matchup of the game that you would see one of these teams coming out and playing Wednesday night up in Jackson Liberty.
And that would, of course, be for the championship of the South Jersey bracket. We have a game for you tonight. So glad that you're tuning in here on Facebook Live and YouTube Live. SNJ Today, glad to bring you this, sponsored by our good friends at Toyota Vineland. We appreciate all the help they've given us in bringing you these games. Right now, we turn things over to our PA announcer, Will Morris, for the national anthem and the starting lineups.
Any verbal, written, or physical conduct related to race, gender, ethnicity, disability, sexual orientation, or religion shall not be tolerated. Will subject the violator to ejection and may result in penalties being assessed against your team. If such comments heard, penalty will be assessed immediately. The officials have been instructed not to issue warnings. Thank you in advance for your cooperation. This time we ask everyone in attendance to please rise. Gentlemen, please remove any headgear as we honor the United States of America and all those who defend our nation at home and abroad with the singing of our national anthem by St. Augustine Prep Senior John Coslow.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Tonight, the New Jersey State Interscholastic Athletic Association, in cooperation with the Olympic Conference and the Cape Atlantic League, proudly present this South Jersey non-public A semifinal between the Fighting Irish of Camden Catholic High School and the Hermits of St. Augustine Prep. Now for today's starting lineups. First, wearing the visiting green jerseys and entering tonight's contest with a record of 21 wins and 6 losses, please welcome the 4th-seeded Fighting Irish of Camden Catholic. Starting at guard, a 5'9" sophomore, number 10, Hakeem Melvin. Starting at guard, a 5'10" junior, number 11, Patrick Corbett. Starting at forward, a 6'6" senior, number 13, Dominic Dunn. Starting at forward, a 6'5" junior, number 25, Babatunde Ajike. And starting at center, a 6'7" junior, number 50, Uche Okafor. The head coach of the Fighting Irish in his 5th season is Mr. Matt Crawford. Ladies and gentlemen, the Fighting Irish of Camden Catholic. And now wearing the home white jerseys and entering tonight's contest with a record of 21 wins and 6 losses, your top-seeded Hermits of St. Augustine Prep. Starting at guard, a 5'8" junior, number 3, Jordan Kendrick. Starting at guard, a 5'11" sophomore, number 34, Kevin Foreman. Starting at forward, a 6'7" senior, number 20, Marlon Hargis. Starting at forward, a 6'2" senior, number 24, Travis Stoll. And starting at center, a 6'5" junior, number 25, Charles Solomon. The head coach of the Hermits in his 41st season is Mr. Paul Rodeo. Ladies and gentlemen, your Hermits of St. Augustine Prep.
There they are in the
Ladies and gentlemen, the referee for tonight's game is Mr. Nelson Rabone.
The semifinal round of this sectional bracket, Hermits versus the Fighting Irish.
Different feel from that Hermit group. The other night they looked a little more tense, a little tighter. They look loose. They look ready to go. The fans are ready to go. This should be a really good one tonight.
We're ready. I hope you're ready. Sit back and enjoy it. Have all those refreshments and snacks ready because you're not going anywhere for the next couple of hours. Stick with us for some quality high school basketball here on SNJ Today, Facebook Live, and of course YouTube Live as well.
Well, you mentioned the other night the Hermits got off to that slow start. One of the people that got off to that slow start was Jordan Kendrick. He's back, right back in his starting lineup, right back in there. Hopefully he comes out strong. We talked about the game that Kevin Foreman had. You just hope he continues that. And with the rest of the group out, Marlon Hargis, Travis Stoll, one way or another, it's going to be the last game in this gym, and they want it to be a good one.
We are set to go. Opening tip is won by the Hermits, going right to the attack, but Stoll pulls it back out.
No surprise, the matchup zone for Camden Catholic. That's what they're going to play. Hermits going to run Jordan Kendrick at the point and run him through so he can get that look, and there it is.
Kendrick doesn't get it to go. Rebounded by number 25, that's Achike.
And straight man-to-man for St. Augustine. Foreman and Jordan Kendrick are going to pressure the ball.
Try to go baseline, but he pulls it back out. Achike sends it outside.
It's going to be deliberate from Camden Catholic, so St. Augustine has to force the tempo.
Hakeem Melvin hands off to Patrick Corbett. The crowd definitely in it. Corbett drives off the glass, no good. Put back is good this time. Number 50, Uche Okafor.
That's where Okafor is going to hurt you. Stoll left to go to help out.
Hargis has it blocked out of bounds. He's looking for the foul, but he's not going to get it this time.
St. Augustine going to keep pushing back every time they can to keep that tempo up.
Kendrick swings it around to Foreman. Down low to Stoll. Stoll with a spin move. Draws the foul.
Good move there from Stoll at the set inbounds play to go to Travis in the high post. He makes the nice spin. Looked like there was less contact on that than on the one previous on Marlon, but Stoll's going to go to the line.
In and out on the first one.
And obviously we talk about being able to score from the line, but also to set up the pressure. St. Augustine is going to press. Foreman is going to be all over, pressing the ball as it comes up the floor.
Yep, both of them
now
rattled.
It's 2-1.
Both of them rattled. The second one goes in. It's 2-1, Camden Catholic. Ball in the hands of number 13. That's Dominic Dunn. They get it across the line. Into the middle and back outside. There's that set D offense.
That's what you're going to see. They're going to break the press and go to the set.
Corbett hands off to Achike from the left corner, short. A little bit of a push off there, but the rebound taken, shot short, and finally Solomon comes away with that one. Quickly up court. Stoll looking for somewhere to go with it, goes all the way across. Hargis taking a three, but it's a little too long.
Would like to see the Hermits even crash those offensive boards there a little too. You're not worried about Camden Catholic running back the other way, so you can crash the boards.
Just about 2 minutes played. It's a 2-1 game. Good feed. Now back out for three. I think that was partially tipped, but it still goes in.
Well, Dunn is the shooter. He is going to fire from a lot of different places. Nice set play to get him the open three. Kendrick got away with a walk there.
5-1 the score. Hargis teeing up some threes tonight, and the rebound comes down to Patrick Corbett. Leading a quick break, sends it to the left side for an open look, and in and out. Rebounded by Stoll.
Well, that's 3 straight times, 3 straight threes from Dunn.
Oh, and he's going to get tagged for a travel. Solomon could not contain his feet.
Different kind of style when Camden Catholic pushes the other way. They're pushing, but they're going for that shot for Dunn. St. Augustine looks to just push back, go back to the glass.
5-1, the Fighting Irish with the early lead. Ball in the hands of Melvin. Hakeem Melvin guarded by Kendrick. Corbett underneath. Oh, what a play.
Nice set play again. And a nice job by the young sophomore Melvin to go up and get it.
Great pass, and Melvin with the finish, and it's 7-1 Camden Catholic. 1 point in the first 3 minutes for the Hermits. Do they try to go inside on a couple of these possessions, Dave? Now as the ball gets kicked around, and it's going to be taken by Catholic right to the hole. Oh, it misses. Rebound is taken out, and the Fighting Irish will get it. Melvin hands off to Corbett.
Well, good contest by Stoll there, but another offensive rebound. Ooh, what a 5-second call. That was... I wasn't paying attention to the count there. That official had it. That's another thing that's different about this game. These are 3 officials, all from North Jersey. Neither of them are from, as we talked the other night, about being from the local boards. These are all North Jersey officials.
St. Augustine needing some points here, trailing by 6, 4:25 to go first quarter. Kendrick with the dribble.
Well, they've struggled against zones. We know that. And here they are. They're not really getting to where they want to go, which was inside.
Kendrick tees up the three, and he gets it. That's a big basket for the Hermits.
Yeah, enormous basket there by Jordan Kendrick.
7-4, the lead cut in half. Quickly up court, looking to drive right to the paint. A little hard off the glass, and I'll tell you what.
Absolutely.
His rebounds, but Okafor has pushed off twice already.
Okafor right in the back of Travis Stoll. You wonder why Stoll was not there for the rebound, because he got pushed out of the way. Look right here. Clearly pushed in the back, and Stoll, who was in position, is not in position.
So it'll be 2 shots for Uche Okafor. Misses the first one. Yeah, Okafor does like to mix it up in the middle, so we'll see if he gets called on that somewhere along the line. Second shot is true.
Still need to push after a made shot, and here comes Kendrick. Cole Vanderslice, shooter in the game. And also with Chris Allen, and Chris can come run the point, and you can run off the wing to the wing with Jordan Kendrick so he can get the shot.
Kendrick with the dribble. Goes to Allen. They swing it around to Vanderslice. Cole takes it and skims it off the rim. Another rebound by the Irish. This time it's a GK.
Yeah, again, you can crash the offensive boards. They're not. There's no reason to worry about a break.
To the outside right now. Patrick Corbett with the dribble. Kendrick guarding. A GK tried to throw it under. We're going to get a foul.
He's going to call Chris Allen for a hold as Dunn was trying to cut through the lane. We were sort of blocked. It looks like Allen does have his arm as he's trying to cut on a backdoor cut.
Well, the shame of that, Dave, is that pass didn't look like it was going to connect. Look at these moves.
Good job inside there by Okafor.
10-4. Camden Catholic has led throughout. Allen gets it to Solomon.
Still need a flasher. Need a flasher in the high post.
Another turnover.
That's twice that Solomon has walked. Defensively, I like what St. Augustine's doing, pressuring the ball. the guard play for Camden Catholic is not as strong as their inside game. If you can keep pressuring the ball, maybe get a turnover off of, as they did earlier with Jordan Kendrick here as he's covering Corbett, make them handle the ball.
GK looking to drive through, crawls off the rim and gets the rebound, puts it up and puts it in. Camden Catholic asserting himself early, 2:34 left, an 8-point advantage.
8-point advantage, and before this foul shot, we're going to get a St. Augustine timeout as Paul Rodeo wants to bring his guys over and talk about it. As you watch here, the follow-up and the foul that's going to be called, I believe that was on Hargis as he got hit. But that'll give us a chance to look at our keys to the game here, brought to us by Toyota Vineland. Our 3 keys, we mentioned it a couple of times already, the tempo. St. Augustine wants the game high pace, pushing the ball down the floor, and Camden Catholic's going to want to pull it out. Well, defensive boards, we've already seen that. Camden Catholic has owned the offensive glass early on. That's how they're scoring. St. Augustine has to do a much better job. And the last part is, you're at home. You got to protect the house here. You got to feed off of your crowd. You got to feed off the friendly confines here. And as we said, this is the last game that's going to be here, win or lose, and you don't want to go out with a loss.
Babatunde Ejike will look to complete the 3-point play as he steps to the free throw line following the timeout. Buries it. 13-4 now the score. Camden Catholic up by 9, under 2.5 minutes left in the first quarter. Chris Allen dishes to Vanderslice. Kendrick has the only basket so far for the Hermits on the 3. Hargis trying to add to it. Shot is short, tipped and collected by Okafor. And he puts it quickly in the hands of Hakeem Melvin. We hit the 2-minute mark of the first quarter. With the dribble is a GK. Takes it, pops it, and connects.
Wow, that's big time. If a GK is going to make that shot, because that's not what he's known for. That's not what you're normally looking against.
The lead is now double digits, 11, 15-4. Kendrick goes to Allen. Chris Allen gets it to Stoll. They cycle with Vanderslice. And he's guilty of a walk. The turnovers are killing him.
Yeah, 3 turnovers are killing him. That's 3 times on the walk. The spacing offensively is terrible right now. Too many guys bunched in on one side. You're not getting good enough spacing. Solomon's going to come back in, and he's got to go to work on his defensive glass.
125 and counting. That's a push off.
Wow, and no need for that.
No.
You know, he's in deep, and no need for the push off here. Good job by Vanderslice.
Well, again, they need points. Just one basket here in the first 6.5 minutes.
Well, the biggest part of it, of scoring, again, obviously the points, but you also need to set up your defense.
Argus turns, looks to drive, cut off, gets it back out to Allen. Cole Vanderslice looking to drive baseline, goes out. Argus dishes, Stoll drives, gets it to go.
Attack the glass with the penetration. Good job by Stoll there to finding a seam. And here's the pressure. Chris Allen way up now on Corbett. Oh. That's going to be 2 on Chris Allen. I'm going to keep hoping for more pressure from St. Augustine, but if it's going to be called that tight, that's not going to work out well for St. Augustine.
Final 45 seconds of period 1. Ball brought across the timeline by Patrick Corbett. Now it's Melvin.
They're taking the last one here. They're going to hold this whole 40 to get the last one.
The GK hands it over to Okafor. They're just playing catch with it.
Yeah,
right
I'd love to see them go back to that cross set where you're switching on that screen, because they're only looking to hold it. You can jump out in a passing lane right there. If you could jump out in a passing lane. Ooh.
There it is.
There you go.
Solomon, where's the foul? A lot of contact there. Vanderslice tees up the 3, in and out. That would have been big, but it does not go. And now Melvin has it with 3 seconds. Oh, they let him drive right through. A block by Stoll. And that one, put that one in the book, because that could have been an easy 2.
And Travis Stoll saved them here. We've seen him do a lot this year, and here he did it again. Big time block from Travis Stoll there, where you were looking at a bigger deficit, if not.
So St. Augustine with only 2 baskets in that first quarter. They trailed by 9.
Well, we've talked about, and I know I've talked a lot about the Hermits' struggles against the zone defenses. They struggled against Eastern, against the same matchup zone. They're going to continue to struggle if, number one, they don't hit the outside shots. What I would love to see them do offensively is crash the boards more. As I'm saying, you're not looking for a run out coming from Camden Catholic. They're not going to push it back the other way. You can send guys to the boards, keep one back, and you can maybe get something that way. The other thing I'd love to see them do is get some movement in the offense, where you saw the last time Travis Stoll, because there was some movement, that zone had to move, and it created a lane for him to go down the middle.
So the first 8 minutes in the book, the second 8 minutes about to start here on SNJ Today, Facebook Live and YouTube Live. Fred Melendez along with Dave Catalana, 15-6 to start the quarter. The visitors from Camden Catholic with the lead. Long range pass, it's an open 3, and it's a swish.
Good job.
Hakeem Melvin.
Good job by Camden Catholic to recognize.
Hargis sends it back to Stoll.
High post.
Kendrick looking to drive through, dishes to Solomon. He has everything he can battle for it. And Camden Catholic again with a rebound and an outlet. Achike falls. Oh!
All right.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't think he didn't call the foul, which I'm not sure there was one.
No.
But this was absolutely off of Camden Catholic.
Yeah.
I mean, he just took the ball out of bounds.
That's terrible. There was no white player touching the ball. Well,
a little bit of the,
well,
as you used to say, that's the
call.
Revlon call right there. Because
that's it. Yeah. Well, hey, we have the virtue of a replay, but that was definitely off the Camden Catholic.
Again, I think he was not going to call the foul.
Again, needing some baskets here. Foreman with the basketball, gets it back to Hargis. Marlin looking to drive, pulls it back out. Oh, it's blocked, and here comes Camden Catholic again. A block by Achike. Ball is loose, and that one definitely goes off Catholic. But they're just out of rhythm offensively right now.
Spacing is terrible. Get it wider, get some movement through it. Everybody's bunched in. It doesn't give you the opportunity to make this defense move a little bit.
Hargis on the right side.
That's a roll.
Oh,
that's a roll. That's a good screen and roll. We never got to that point of it. And Hargis was throwing the pass before Stoll was able to move.
18-6, 6.5 minutes to go in the second quarter.
Oh. Travis on the deny there. Jordan Kendrick's going to keep working on Patrick Corbett as he brings the ball up.
Corbett will inbound it this time for the Fighting Irish. Puts it in the hands of Babatunde Achike. Ball is partially tipped, but the Fighting Irish still have it. And that's a kicking motion there. So Foreman did not collect the turnover. Corbett will inbound it underneath the Fighting Irish basket. Right to the hoop. Okafor has no problem.
Good job there on a screen. St. Augustine switched, and they just slipped the screen, went right back.
20-6. Stoll. Can't get it to go, and it's a one and done again. Good defense. And unfortunately, they called timeout. I thought they were going to tap Solomon with a
and there was a little bit of trouble in the backcourt. Coach Matt Crawford was right into the official to call the timeout. So nothing going right offensively for St. Augustine right now. You get the shots rolling off, and Camden Catholic is clicking on the offensive side.
This timeout brought to you by Toyota of Vineland. Glad to have them with us, as always, to produce these games for you, sponsor them so that we can bring them your way. And right now, though, it's been all Camden Catholic.
Well, one thing I'd be concerned with right now is as St. Augustine defensively sometimes tries to turn things up when the offense doesn't work, and they'll go to their traps. Camden Catholic will be ready for the traps. So if you try to do that and you don't execute well, they're going to swing it to wide open threes like they did earlier when Melvin hit his shot earlier. So it's careful. Here comes the trap. Here it comes.
Melvin decides to take off, puts it up and short. It might have been partially blocked, but we have a foul.
We're going to get Foreman on the foul as he's going to the basket. He's going to shoot 2.
Melvin tees up the first one and connects. He is 2 for 2 on that trip, and it is 22-6. 7-point run here in this quarter for the Fighting Irish. Argus to Stoll. Argus went to the hole. Solomon looking to find some territory. He has that rejected by Okafor. Cool. And GK takes the batted ball and sets up the Camden Catholic offense. All the way to the corner. There's another 3. It's a little short. Vanderslice collects the board.
Got to push.
Argus looking to go through the lane. Puts the shot up. It doesn't go. And again, a lot of green jerseys all over the rebound. They're going to give it to Camden Catholic.
Well, 3 Camden Catholic guys went for the rebound, but somehow St. Augustine was the last one to touch it.
Yeah, figure that one.
Well, listen, you got to start making your own breaks right now, because it's one and done offensively, and right now Camden Catholic's able to run whatever they want on the offensive side.
A 3-pointer is short. Solomon will wind up with the ball and bring the ball to the front court, looking to go the distance, has it tipped, and again, a turnover.
Well, that's not, I mean, Charles trying to make something happen here, but number one, that's not the St. Augustine break. And number 2, he's going in there against 2 shot blockers. I mean, listen, he's a tough kid. He wants to go inside. He's been doing it all year, but not against these shot blockers that are there waiting for him. And that time he just dribbled off his foot.
Melvin gives it up to Dunn. Dunn gets double team, hands off to Melvin, and now back outside to Corbett. 4:45 left in the second quarter, 22-6. Camden Catholic with the lead. Dominic Dunn hands it back out. Patrick Corbett. GK quite a distance away from his normal spot underneath the basket. Corbett loses it, still puts it up and gets it to go. And if that's going to go in, you're going to have a long night. That was a totally off-balance shot.
Well, you're scrambling on defense there, and Corbett made him pay as he went through the lane.
Back outside to Stoll. They do the perimeter thing. Hargis tees up a 3 and connects.
That is, you know, hey, Marlins made shots like that before, but that's as close to a desperation shot as you're going to find.
Halfway through the second quarter, it's 24-9. Camden Catholic leads St. Augustine. Corbett with the dribble.
This has got to be a deny, not a trap, a deny.
Melvin dribbles, finds the lane, and Delaney says, not this time.
Well, maybe Matt Delaney gave him a spark the other night, and maybe he can do it again right now, because they need some help inside, and Matt Delaney decided to, as you said, not this time.
Corbett finds a GK. Stoll tips it away from him and smartly gets it to go off of GK out of bounds.
Hey, sometimes one little play is what's going to get you going, and maybe that did it right there, but you have to answer here offensively here. Draw up a good one and answer right here.
3.5 minutes left in period 2. A 15-point deficit. St. Augustine looking to cut into it at least a little bit with this possession. Vanderslice tees up the 3. Stoll! Hargis! They just couldn't corral the basketball, and finally it's taken away by Camden Catholic's Dominic Dunn. Melvin finds Patrick Corbett, brings it across the timeline. The clock strikes 3 minutes to go. A three-pointer if it goes. It's short and out of bounds. Camden Catholic thinks it was
Camden
tipped.
Catholic, yeah. Hey, listen, you got a good shooter like Dunn. You're not going to expect him to shoot an air ball there, but I don't think there was any touch. Doesn't matter if St. Augustine's got it, and they've got to convert here. They got to put together one of those 3-minute runs to finish this thing off in this first half.
Kendrick looking to find some room. Dishes to Delaney and draws the foul on Okafor.
Well, you want to talk about a heady player there. If you watch this, Matt Delaney goes up and he realizes while he's in the air, it's going to be blocked. Watch him pull it back down a little so that the foul comes across his arm. And instead of getting a block shot and just, going up strong against the shot blocker, he moves the ball and gets the foul.
So Delaney goes to the line for 2. Missing the first one. Every point is precious when you're trailing. Let's see if he can get a 1 for 2.
One,
24 to 10.
Yep. Now full court, 1-2, 1-1 press from St. Augustine, and there's a loose ball.
Almost taken away, but it is saved. They get it across the timeline. Corbett pulls it out, and it's tipped loose. Oh, fortunate bounce and a shot skimming around underneath the basket. They get it back out.
Well, St. Augustine a little bit of a scramble mode defensively there and had an opportunity off a bad shot to rebound, and they didn't. And now Camden Catholic's going to pull it back out.
Dominic Dunn gives it to Corbett, who finds Hakeem Melvin. Corbett, a GK, a three-pointer. If it goes, it rims out, and Delaney gets the rebound.
Good job again. Good box out by Delaney.
Take it right to the hole. Oh, they call a charge.
Well, it looked to me like Dunn was there, but he was there, and then he moved. So, looks like the officials saw him getting there at first. Tough call, bang, bang play. And that's the way things are going for St. Augustine right now, as it does not go their way on the pushback from Jordan Kendrick.
Camden Catholic will inbound it. Patrick Corbett will handle that duty at the moment. Finds a GK and a quick up to Dominic Dunn. Melvin thought about a three. Now he sends it back out to Corbett. Vanderslice and Kendrick try to connect. Kendrick got a piece of it. Unfortunately, the rebound play by Melvin goes up. Another shot put up and a foul as Okafor will go to the line after that offensive board.
We're going to call that on Travis Stoll. Well, Travis Stoll wasn't even near the play. That wasn't even close to where was that? Let's see if we see it. Looked like he drives on Delaney.
Okafor makes the first one. Short on the second, and Delaney has the rebound. We have a foul against Camden Catholic, number 13.
Can you put together a mini run here with a minute and a half? One of the problems you're going to have here offensively, St. Augustine struggling to score, but you've seen Camden Catholic, if they get it back, they could take this last minute off the clock. So you're going to have to try to do something quick, get right into the press.
Kendrick with the dribble will hand off to Hargis. Hargis loses it momentarily. Go back to Kendrick, who tees up the three and swishes it.
Well, Camden Catholic's going to let that go. And if Jordan Kendrick's going to hit it, that's going to keep St. Augustine in it right now. 12-point game. Need a little run here in the last minute.
Corbett gets it across the line into the front court. A GK has Okafor looking to spin. Short on the shot, and Vanderslice with the rebound. Still time left for at least a good shot here. Kendrick's going to feel it off the rim. Corbett rebounds and brings back the Fighting Irish.
That's a deep three, but I like that shot there.
They'll work it around the perimeter in the final 20 seconds. GK hands it back to Dominic Dunn, and now Corbett. So they're going to settle for one here. 7 seconds. GK. It'll be Dunn looking to get the shot, and it goes. The punctuation mark on a very good first half for the Camden Catholic Fighting Irish as Dunn gets it to go off the glass and in at the buzzer.
Well, that's pretty much a microcosm of the way that first half went. St. Augustine misses at the other end. Camden Catholic runs it down and gets the bucket at the end, and they take the 14-point lead into halftime.
All right, we're going to total up some numbers. We're going to take a timeout here, David, and collect our breaths a little bit. Score at halftime, Camden Catholic 27, St. Augustine 13. We'll be right back. Well, the Rowdies are trying their best to get the St. Augustine players on to the victory, but right now Camden Catholic playing a dominant game at both ends of the floor, rebounding, shooting well, and just really taking it to St. Augustine throughout this first half.
It's a few things that we kind of knew going into this game. You knew exactly what defense Camden Catholic was going to play. They're in that same matchup zone that St. Augustine has struggled with earlier. We saw them struggle earlier in the year against Eastern, against that same thing. When you don't have the type of team that shoots the ball that well from the outside, you're going to struggle against it. I think their spacing has been poor against that zone. I think you need movement. I think you need guys in and out, run cutters through, get a lot of motion going as they're moving around it and swinging the basketball. You can't stand around and let that defense just stay where they want to. You have two shot blockers in the back, and what St. Augustine needs to do is get some movement and create some areas where they can attack the basket and maybe get the shot blocker up in the air as they're going in to score.
Well, Babatunde, Ajike, and Uche Okafor certainly have made their presence felt underneath, but then you have people like Hakeem Melvin getting some good shots. Corbett running the perimeter with the point guard position and everything. So they're top five. Their starters are the only ones scoring. And I don't know, have they made a substitution yet?
Well, they don't sub a whole lot as it is, and I don't think they've really made one in this game so far. So they're not going to play a deep bench, but they're going to know what they want to do. Very well coached defensively on exactly what they want to do. If you're Camden Catholic, zero change on the defensive side because there's St. Augustine with 13 points here, so nothing's going to change on that side. Offensively for them, what they've done a great job of is when St. Augustine has trapped, they've found the open man, and then early in that they just owned the offensive glass. And if they're going to rebound like that, I mean, even with a bad shot or even a missed shot, if they're going to rebound the ball, I mean, St. Augustine's not going to be able to get back into it because all the points, or a big portion of it, have come off either set plays, and you've seen the shots go in from both Dunn and also Melvin, or you're going to see them crashing the defensive boards.
Do you want to see a little more movement on offense? Because it doesn't seem like St. Augustine's really getting into any kind of offensive rhythm right now.
Zero rhythm against the 2-3 zone. So one of the things, obviously, you want to attack that by running. You don't run if they're not missing shots down here. So it's a cycle that goes in. You can't get in your press if you're not scoring. You can't push the ball if they are scoring at the other end. But St. Augustine has got to find a way to attack the defense in transition and not against that 2-3. But when you're in that setup, because you're going to be in that, I'd love to see some motion around the outside. Send Kendrick through as he makes the initial pass. Send him through. He has made a couple of shots from 3. He's going to, I think now Camden Catholic's going to come out on him a little. And if they do, that might open up a little bit more inside. But, this what they're trying to run right now with some picks and other things just not working against not enough spacing and too big underneath the basket.
Now, do you want to see some more players cutting to the basket, give a passing lane to the Kendrick and people?
What I want Kendrick and some of the other guards to do is work the perimeter. But as they're moving around, and if you get someone to make a shot or two, it's going to spread that zone out a little bit and create some seams. What you're not going to get is one pass and a seam there. What you need to get is an enter to one wing, and as the defense moves, you swing to the opposite wing, and they've got to move all the way over there. If you're just making one pass and trying to go, Camden Catholic's going to be standing there waiting for it.
Well, they've had a great first half here. Balanced scoring, which we mentioned at the beginning. They are led by Okafor right now with 8 points. Tonight's game again brought to you by Toyota Vineland. So glad that they are helping us bring you these broadcasts here on Facebook Live and YouTube Live. 8 points for Okafor, 7 points for Hakeem Melvin. 5 points apiece, Dominic Dunn and Babatunde Ajike, and one basket by Patrick Corbett. So they're mixing up their scores. They're getting everybody involved, and they have 27 points, which is not a lot for a first half, but it's double the point total for St. Augustine. They are being led by Jordan Kendrick, who did toss in 2 3-point shots. Marlon Hargis also hit a 3. So 6 for Kendrick, 3 for Hargis, 3 for Travis Stoll, and just 1 for Matt Delaney. So the offense has certainly struggled now, and we'll see if they can't find a bit of a rhythm in the second half.
Well, let's start to think about, again, from the Camden Catholic side, they could have come out, they could have stayed out of here. They didn't need to go in the locker room because there's nothing, I don't think anything can change or needs to change from that side. The only thing, if you're Camden Catholic, what you have to realize is that St. Augustine's going to come out and throw everything at you defensively from a pressure standpoint. Going to press in the full court if they can, and they're going to trap in the half court because they're going to have to find a way to manufacture some points. A lot of things are going to have to change on the St. Augustine side. First thing I would think of, again, I would love to see some more spacing and moving the ball around offensively. On the defensive side, I know what they're going to do. They're going to come out and they're going to try to trap and run all over the place in the half-court set. If that's the case, I would expect to see Kevin Foreman back in along with Jordan Kendrick. Matt Delaney gave him great minutes. You're not going to put Charles Solomon on the bench, but Delaney gave him great minutes, and I would look to see a lot more of Matt Delaney here in the second half, but you're going to have to do something defensively to spur your offense because that's going nowhere. And everything from St. Augustine's side has got to be a push. Made shot, push it back the other way, attack the glass. Missed shot, you're going to do the same thing, and you have to get the tempo up. And I think what they can do, they've shown it a little bit, I think you can pressure the guards from Camden Catholic, and that's the only thing you're going to be able to do to get back into this.
Well, you got to put a little more heat on Patrick Corbett because he's been controlling the outside. Dominic Dunn's another one that's working the outside, and then, of course, Hakeem Melvin. Those 3 guys, they seem to be doing a lot of the movement that you want to see St. Augustine doing.
Well, they know what they want to do on the offensive side, and those 3 guys have handled it very well. They've run a couple of nice plays for Dunn. From the St. Augustine side, as you're pushing the ball down the floor, and again, no matter what it is, I would love to see them crash the offensive boards more. You thought Camden Catholic went slow in the first half. It's going to be even slower in the second half. If they can take a lead like this into the fourth quarter and run that spread set that they do, they can run minutes off the clock. You're not going to come back against them if they're going to get into that half-court set because you're now going to be running and chasing, and they're going to just be confident into running that. So it's, as we always say, what happens in these first few minutes? 27-13. Fred, if we're looking at this in a couple minutes and it's 27-20, we got ourselves a ball game. If Camden Catholic continues to do what they did in that first half, if Dunn gets another 3, if the inside game, if St. Augustine doesn't keep them off the boards, and we're looking at that, the further this lead gets, and a team like Camden Catholic, they can salt it away early with the way they run their offense.
Well, of course, they've had the big guys doing a lot of the underneath work, a couple of blocks here and there, rebounding very well. So they played a very good first half and certainly have worked their way into this 14-point lead at the intermission. 27-13, Camden Catholic leads St. Augustine. These first few possessions, I agree with you, very important for the Hermits to score.
The 27 is not the surprise. That's about where Camden Catholic's going to play most of their games, in the 50s. The 13 is obviously the huge surprise that St. Augustine, you're not used to seeing that out of this team.
Well, let's see what kind of pulse they can pull off the bench right now as they gather up and get set for the second half. A 14-point advantage from the visitors. For the visitors, from Camden Catholic. The number 1 seed versus the number 4 seed here in the semifinal round of the NJSIAA South Jersey Non-Public A tournament.
It's time for the number 1 seed to show if they're the number 1 seed. And you got to come out right now, basically with your hair on fire here, and turn something around here in the start of this third quarter.
They get the first possession. So a basket on this possession certainly would set a little bit of a tone. Jordan Kendrick eyes the defense, looks things over as I see Marlon Hargis trying to run a set. He's going back and forth along the baseline. Now it's Foreman. Kevin Foreman dribbles left side. Foreman trying to get that movement going. Now Hargis cutting through the lane. It goes in after about 3 or 4 bounces.
I'd love to see it with passing instead of dribbling, but that dribbling from side to side made the defense move and gave Marlon Hargis at least some place to go.
27-15. Kendrick really tight on Corbett. Corbett! Oh, yes, indeed, sir. I'm sorry to call it that way, but that did touch the line.
Well, listen, Jordan Kendrick is going to be a pest, and he's going to play defense that way.
So he came across the front and then tapped the line again. He hesitated on the call, but I think he made the right call.
I think he called it a double dribble, but it probably was a backcourt.
That's what I'm saying.
But that's what Kendrick's going to do.
Pop shot by Foreman, it's good. And there's 2 quick baskets.
Unexpected that they didn't think he was going to do that, and Foreman did a nice job there. And there's another turnover, almost.
Well, they're going to tie up the ball, and it's going to be possession Camden Catholic. But that's the spark that this team is looking for. 2 baskets and a tie-up, a turnover at the mid-court line in the first minute. So there's the energy you were hoping to see.
Well, if you don't come out energized now, you're never going to in a game.
27-17. And they throw it into the bleachers. So the pressure works there as well.
There's a St. Augustine staple, that run and jump. And it doesn't always have to be a steal. You run and jump, and he throws it into the third row.
A 4-0 run to start the third quarter, looking for more. Kendrick finds Stoll. Back to Jordan.
Swing the other way. Don't hold it. Swing it and make them move. They haven't moved defensively because you haven't left this side of the floor.
Hargis tees up the 3. It skims in and out, and an easy rebound by a GK.
That's not offense there. That's just one pass, and Marlon had nothing else to do, and he threw it up.
Corbett across the line this time. Ball is taken away by Kendrick. He's got a lane to the basket, and he makes it.
Jordan Kendrick is going to make it happen with his defense. Camden Catholic seems to be allowing Corbett just to handle this pressure by himself.
Well, he breaks it this time. Corbett decides to take it all the way in. They put in by number 50, that is Okafor. And Camden Catholic wants to talk things over a little bit.
30-second timeout.
Well, I'll tell you what's frustrating about right there is you got the guards playing their guts out. They are pressuring the ball, doing what they've got to do. They turn the guy into the lane, and then the big there, Solomon, allows him to catch and go up and score. And not defending where you've got Foreman and you've got Stoll and you've got Kendrick all over the place playing defense. Everybody's got to pick up their game there.
Timeout brought to you by Toyota of Vineland. If you're in the market for a car, check them out. Toyota of Vineland, your place to stop and find what may be your next vehicle.
Started off great in this third quarter, and then two, I think, really bad possessions. One offensively and one defensively. Let's basically Camden Catholic catch their breath, call the timeout, and get themselves back in it.
The lead is now 10. Chance to cut it further with this possession. Hargis goes to Kendrick, back out to Marlin. Goes up. Very tough shot off the glass. Rebounded by Melvin. He goes right side. Dunn looking for a lane. Nice pass to the post, and he traveled.
Now that time, Charles Solomon did play the defense, and he made him shuffle his feet because he actually came up and pressured him.
Got to take better shots than the last one, Dave.
Move the ball. Again, motion. Swing the ball from one side. That's how you got the lane the first two times down.
Travis Stoll looking to the basket. He drives. Off the glass short. Ball is batted around, and again, a one and done and a jump. Oh, we're going to travel against Camden Catholic. Okay. I don't know.
I don't know either. Looked like two guys had the ball. Looked like a jump more than anything, but...
Let's take a look here. He's planted his feet. Okay, yeah, he traveled a little bit. He took a hop. Kendrick, again, trying to drive, dishing it out to Foreman. They swing it all the way around. Hargis is pushed.
Swing it from one side to the other, and then Hargis can attack. You can't attack off the first pass.
This is what they did. They swung it around to the left side.
Yeah, look at the teams now moving in that direction.
Right.
Oh, he walked.
Stoll gets it to Foreman, short. And Corbett winds up with the rebound.
Oh, everybody's up. This is a jailbreak here.
A GK handing off to Dunn, and Dunn rattles it home for three. Or they give him just two. Well, they do give him three. Okay. And now a turnover for the Hermits. This is a chance for Camden Catholic to regain some equilibrium. They still own a 13-point advantage, 32-19. 4:35 to go, third quarter. Melvin will bring it across. Passing it on a great read by Travis Stoll for the dunk. You saw that one coming.
You sometimes never know where the trap is coming from, and that time, as he was coming up the floor, Travis Stoll stepped right into the passing lane.
Great read by Stoll. Now pressure defense again. Corbett breaks it. Nice dish, and there's a put in.
Once again, you break the pressure. You got to make a play on the defensive end at the bottom.
34-21. Camden Catholic. Vanderslice. Kendrick puts up a three.
Jordan Kendrick, every once in a while, Jordan Kendrick's throwing one in. It's keeping you right in this thing.
The lead is 10. 3:45 to go, third quarter. Now Corbett again, same dish. This time Solomon makes the play.
Do you hear me? Did Charles hear me?
I think he saw that one coming since it was the same exact play. Stoll has it tipped, gets it to go off the glass, and it's an 8-point game.
Little hop in your step now. St. Augustine's making some things happen defensively that's turning into points the other side. Same thing. Stay up now. Get up on them. Why give him a chance to breathe here?
Do I see some trouble breathing? Melvin looks like he's having some gasping problems. A three-pointer if it goes, and that's huge for Camden Catholic. What a response by Corbett.
Swing the ball. Swing the ball.
Nice pass to the post. It crawls in for Solomon.
Keep the pressure up now. Don't reach. No reason to reach. Just play him up the floor.
37-28. 2:45, third quarter. How is that not a travel? Oh, my goodness. How was that not a travel?
He somehow got out of the trap and moved several feet.
Look at this. Oh, come on now.
Well, it looked like a St. Augustine guy might have gotten a hand on it and popped it through. So nice job there by Melvin to get out of the trap.
First shot is missed by Okafor.
Delaney had been sitting long at the table to come in. That foul was on Solomon. I don't know how many that is on Charles. But Delaney gave him good minutes. He needs to do it again now.
Before the shot that Okafor is going to try to make. I'm not sure what the officials discussing. I guess they want St. Augustine to have that spot on the sideline there.
Need to box and go here. Get it out and go. Get it to Hargis and go.
1 for 2 for Okafor. The lead is again 10. 38-28.
You see that Kendrick has made a couple and another. And you see that Dunn is extending now. That's going to give you some more room inside because they have to now respect Jordan Kendrick's three-pointer.
38-31. Easy lay-in for a GK. Great move to the basket by that young man.
Swing the ball, rotate it back the other way. You can't stand around. You got to move.
Vanderslice trying to three it. All of a sudden, it's raining threes.
And there it is. Welcome home, Cole Vanderslice.
40-34. It's a 6-point game with 1:50 to go. Kendrick almost steal. Stole. Gets it to Kendrick. I think you can feel a little electricity in this rodeo gymnasium right now. Watch Stoll dive in there.
Well, Jordan Kendrick doing one heck of a job on pressuring the ball, but Travis Stoll, the senior, lays out and makes the play, and Kendrick's going to go to the line for 2.
Well, they've got it going. They've got it going at long last, and the lead is just 6. Possibility of knocking it down to 4 with 2 free throws. This game brought to you by Toyota of Vineland.
And one heck of a game that this has turned into now. The emotion, St. Augustine's riding the wave right now. Camden Catholic with this timeout, you know how they're going to settle themselves down. Something different. If you're bringing the ball up for Camden Catholic, you never know where the trap's coming from. It could be coming from behind. It could be coming off the first pass. And in that case, Jordan Kendrick just turned his man. And when he did turn his man, there was Travis Stoll there to make the play. If Jordan Kendrick can knock a couple down here and get right back into the pressure, St. Augustine well back into this ball game now.
So 2 free throws with a chance to cut the lead to just 4. And try to draw that Camden Catholic defense out.
Well, and this has all been on hustle. This has all been on determination by different guys. And Jordan Kendrick's really making it happen at both sides. And Augustine making a run here. You know, their best player, Marlon Hargis, is still 5 points in the game, so they're not getting it from there. But they're getting it from other guys, and right now the one they're getting it from is this young junior on the line, Jordan Kendrick.
Well, Dave, you were hoping to see a more confident Jordan Kendrick. I think we're seeing it. Those are 2 very fine free throws.
Different press again from St. Augustine. Good job by Camden Catholic to break it. Now somebody needs to make a stop.
Oh, there it is. It was on the floor for a moment. Now, forgive me, Dave, if I may. I understand. Give me a rules clarification. If you have the ball and your feet are moving in the air.
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
What you're looking for there, and a lot of times when a guy goes to the ground, people already look for the walk.
Right.
The idea there, did he gain an advantage? Did he roll over and move? And in that case, all he did was go on the floor. He was kicking his legs, but he hadn't really moved. St. Augustine, a good job getting the tie up, and that's when the possession goes to St. Augustine, and they've got a chance to cut even further into this lead.
Stoll looks to drive, looks to go off the glass. It doesn't go, and the rebounded by Okafor. Good play by Stoll to save it. Vanderslice right to the post, Delaney. Vanderslice to the line. It's a 2-point game.
Oh, and we could see that right along. Vanderslice saw Delaney inside, and that freshman went up strong and scored.
Under under a minute to go. We have a 2-point game and now a foul. Oh, he stepped out of bounds.
They're going to call him out of bounds. And if I'm Matt Crawford, I'm upset with the little bump because he got the bump that took him out of bounds. Sometimes you won't call that if there's no harm, no foul. But it turned into a turnover. And St. Augustine, believe it or not, can tie here or take the lead with a 3.
We're going to let you watch for a second. Good ball movement. Hargis. Oh, he traveled anyway.
A perfectly run play to get the ball to your best player underneath and an unforced turnover. We're going to see that one again. I can guarantee you'll see that play again.
He would have had a nice attempt of a shot had he caught that. Long range pass at GK. Dishes out. Dunn just inside the arc, and he connects.
That's a shooter. That shooter knows when he wants to put it up.
42-38.
Big last possession. Camden Catholic going to have it to start the 4th, so it's huge for St. Augustine to get something here.
8 seconds. Kendrick. Dishing. Vanderslice. They got to get a shot. Oh, he traveled. Well, you have 1.3 left.
Well, you run a play to get a shooter at open 3, and he needs to take it. Vanderslice decided to penetrate instead.
They'll just hold it there and be satisfied, escaping that quarter with a 4-point lead.
Well, satisfied is a good word that you're using there, because St. Augustine has got to be satisfied with what they just put on in that second quarter, that third quarter right there, to climb their way back into the game.
A 7-point run did it towards the end of that quarter. They went from 9 points down to 2. The 3-pointer by Vanderslice, the 2 free throws by Kendrick, and a great pass by Vanderslice to Delaney right at the post.
Well, here you go. You come out in the third quarter. You're running on, you're not doing anything right, and you go basically, like I said, your hair on fire. You're out there scrapping, diving, doing whatever you got to do to get back in the game. Well, you're there now. 4-point game at home. That doesn't mean you change what you do. You don't have to be as crazy wild with the presses, but I still think you have to pressure, because that's where you've gotten it to come to turn around your way. That's where you've gotten the ball back, and that's where you've pushed the ball and attacked, basically in some cases attacking against no one or against one. You've struggled against the zone the whole time. Well, find a way to attack in the transition.
A 25-point third quarter for St. Augustine.
That's more like a St. Augustine quarter.
Yes, it is. So now the last 8 minutes start with the Green in front by 4. Camden Catholic versus St. Augustine here on Facebook Live, SNJ Today Facebook Live, and SNJ Today YouTube Live. Fred Melendez, Dave Catalana, tournament basketball, and it's a good one right now. Melvin has the ball up and will put it out to a GK. Here comes Corbett circling, but he will get the ball from Melvin. Kendrick's given Corbett quite a run today. Oh, there was some contact there. I'm not sure that Kendrick didn't slap there, but the ball comes down to Stoll. He's short, and he's going to go to the line for 2.
We've probably seen that shot from Travis Stoll more than any shot of anybody all year. He has that move, that left hand goes up, sometimes rolls in, sometimes rolls out. Tonight it hasn't been going for him, but Travis Stoll playing a heck of a job on the defensive side.
Stoll makes the first one. (42-40).
Pressure now from St. Augustine once again. They're going to keep the pressure on Corbett and Melvin when he's coming back to the ball.
Corbett again does a good job of bringing it to the front court. He's got a lane if he wants it. Blocked! And it'll go out of bounds off St. Augustine. Well, didn't see who blocked it, but that's a key block.
Yeah, but Corbett, he beats the pressure and then all of a sudden takes what I would consider an uncharacteristic shot there. St. Augustine has to come up with the ball there on the rebound. Oh, that's a moving screen.
Dunn has it, looks to go through.
That's a good call. That's a good call in the block, but they ran the inbounds play, and Okafor cleared out the other man. He cleared out Solomon. This is a good call here. Solomon had the opportunity to get that charge, needed to set himself better.
So 2 free throws for Dominic Dunn. Makes the first one without a problem.
Yeah, I'll tell you, this kid is tough. He's not fazed by the environment. He's not fazed by people yelling. And when they need him to make a big play, he's the guy they're going to go to here is Dominic Dunn.
He buries both of them. 44-40. Kendrick with the dribble just past the midcourt stripe. Travis Stoll finds Hargis. I didn't want to call it, I just wanted to watch it. But GK with the rebound.
Marlin had a great opportunity there against Dunn. A rock step and go by him on the baseline there. Dunn was a little uncomfortable offensive or defensively as he came out, and Marlin bailed him out by shooting the 3.
So Corbett will inbound it. Patrick Corbett, number 11, guarded by Travis Stoll.
I like the sub going back to Foreman here for defense.
Dunn tees up the 3 and nothing but twine.
You're going to give him an open look. I just said that's the senior that's going to take that shot, and he buried it.
And suddenly the lead is 7. 6.5 just under that left.
One more switch. Here's Kendrick.
Putting up the shot, it doesn't go, and it's Okafor with the rebound.
Jordan Kendrick had a wide open 3 there. That's a kick that Marlin has to make there to Jordan. Need a stop here or a timeout if you're St. Augustine.
Corbett finds Melvin. Melvin has a chance to shoot.
That's an offensive. Good job, Hargis. We said Marlon Hargis has not been scoring. He made something happen there defensively.
That's the 3rd on Melvin.
You know, I know you're going to try to run something to Hargis here. Do it that way. I'd be running something for Jordan Kendrick right now and let him get that 3.
They swing it around to Foreman.
There it is. That's that same play they ran, and he was wide open. Foreman didn't throw it.
Oh, Kendrick thought about it.
Oh, he should have taken it after the second look.
Stoll, spin move. A wild shot, though. Not a good shot.
He had Marlin on the dive after the spin move.
We call that on Foreman.
Stoll.
They're going to call it on Travis Stoll a little.
Augustine.
Okay.
It's a 30-second timeout.
But okay.
Well, more than anything we've seen this year with games like Paul VI the other night, everything's obviously a game of runs, and you're going to get your run. There was, that run that St. Augustine had to get back into this. You're going to expect that Camden Catholic is going to take that punch and then punch right back. And the guy that punches right back was Dominic Dunn. Yeah. He hits the big foul shots. He hits the huge 3. And all of a sudden now you're on the verge of, after coming all the way back to this being back to double digits. You got to be careful with the pressure here that you're not leaving Dunn. I would go maybe just a straight man press here. Just straight man and come out that way instead of the zone press. Looks like what they're going to do here.
Yep.
Just a straight face guard deny man-to-man.
They got the ball into Dunn, who swings it around, and
just
now
work him.
Melvin.
Just work him up the floor. No need to double. Just work him. That should have been a deny there.
A GK puts it up, no good. Ball rebounded by Okafor, and he just twirls it in.
Well, you got to defend, and you have to rebound the ball on the defensive end. Kick it in and kick it out.
A 7-point run. That's rejected by Okafor and winds up with Melvin.
Get up, straight man. You know which play they're going to run here. The same pop out. Jordan Kendrick pop out and deny. Get on the floor.
He almost did it. A GK pops it inside, in and out. But there's Okafor.
And there's the push off that we said earlier. You finally get it when you need it. That was not a shot that Matt Crawford would have wanted there. I can't believe that he would want that jump shot there by a GK. But again,
4:48 left in the fourth. Kendrick with the basketball across into the front court.
They can go inside and it kicked it outside.
That's not a good shot. Okafor again with the rebound, and here come the Fighting Irish. 4.5 minutes left in regulation. Okafor looking for somewhere to pass the ball, goes back out the court, but good save. That one looked like it was going to head to the backcourt. Hakeem Melvin hands it back to Corbett, puts the shot up a little long. Okafor battling for it, and he's going to get the benefit of the doubt.
Well, back-to-back jump shots from Camden Catholic that I don't know why they're shooting the ball there. We got to get defense back in the game here. If you're St. Augustine, you got to get look maybe for Foreman back in.
Hakeem Melvin finds Dunn. Dunn just threw it up.
We have the same vantage point as this official did, and I don't know how he saw.
Yeah. Well, Solomon.
He got his left arm on him. He had his right arm on the ball, but it looked like the left arm did get him.
So Solomon guilty of that foul. It's his third.
Yeah. And these are as good as in when Dunn steps to the line here.
Well, he's 4 for 4 in this quarter. And there's that 11-point advantage back for Camden Catholic.
Well, now they're spread out for you a little bit.
Hargis taking the three. It's short, and that rebound.
Defensive subs. We got to go defensive subs here to get pressure on the ball.
Melvin with the dribble into the front court. 3:50 left in the fourth. 51-40. Fighting Irish lead the Hermits. Solomon now coming out to face Dunn. He gives up the dribble. GK comes out to save it. Ball is knocked out by Hargis. 3:34 to go. Some subs into the game now. Joe Rusher, number 33. Delaney comes out. Stoll back in. Vanderslice. Once again, they put the ball in the hands of Patrick Corbett. GK looking to go underneath to Dunn. Dunn looking for a turnaround shot. Dishes it back out to Corbett since he didn't have anything there.
Yeah, they're not going to shoot the ball here if they don't have to.
Corbett to a GK. Ball is tipped by Vanderslice, taken by Stoll. Travis pulls out.
Go inside. Hit it, Jordan.
Kendrick put it on the floor, and that was not a good idea. A GK winds up with the steal. 2:45 to go. Corbett just dribbling, and we get a 10-second violation. Well, that's a saving grace for St. Augustine, but time is really running short with this 11-point deficit.
Yep, we got it.
Kendrick brings it into the front court, guarded by Melvin. Rusher decides to go in, puts the shot up a little hard, and Dunn collects the rebound. So Camden Catholic putting a bit of a clamping on this one at the moment.
Yeah, and the way they run their offense here, you got to start fouling or something.
A GK is fouled. Babatunde Ajike going to the line for two.
Let's see. Good job by Solomon to try to defend. You're going to have to contest that. And a good call. Well, I'm going to tell you now.
Somebody asked for brick and he got it.
Yeah, and I'm going to tell you now. I haven't seen a GK play very often, obviously, but if he's going to shoot foul shots like that, I'm going to be fouling him for the next 2 minutes and 21 seconds.
Okay.
He might be the best foul shooter on the team.
We don't
that
know.
one just didn't look good.
That one looks a lot better, and it rattles out.
Well,
So
he's getting fouled next time he touches it. I know that.
Vanderslice dishing to Kendrick.
Other way. Reverse the ball.
Vanderslice decides to go. Stoll driving. Trying to get through the trees, and somehow he got that one to go with 2:05 to go. And St. Augustine takes a timeout. Timeout, of course, brought to you by Toyota of Vineland.
Still breathing. Still breathing a little bit here with 2:03 left and a 9-point game.
Well, they definitely need 1 or 2 turnovers here.
Yeah, you know, with most teams you might think 2 minutes is not, you know, still a long time. But the way they run their offense here, if they break half court, I'm fouling right away because you have to extend the best way that you can. They will take chunks of time off the clock, and obviously you've got to make something happen. If they're going to make the foul shots, there's nothing much you're going to do there, but you can't allow them to break half court and then just run time off the clock. So I would be pressuring full court. Obviously, every trap on this, once they break half court, I'm fouling. Now, you're not fouling done because he's not going to miss.
No, he's 4 for 4 in this quarter.
If a GK touches the ball, he's getting fouled. And hopefully everyone knows that.
So Camden Catholic has a 9-point lead, 2:03 on the clock. Corbett will inbound it. Again, man-to-man defense here. Delaney, instant foul on Dunn. So, hey, credit Camden Catholic for going right to the right guy for that.
Well, you know, first of all, a tough matchup for Matt Delaney.
Absolutely. Well, it's a 1-and-1, but the way he's shooting, like you say, David, probably is a guaranteed 2 here.
Yeah, you got to guarantee if he does miss,
and he does miss. Got to go down and get it. Ball is loose on the floor. It's off of Camden Catholic. Well, there's the miracle of miracles, a shot that was not hit from the foul line by Dominic Dunn.
Well, that's big now. Got to make him pay at the other side. Let's go.
Kendrick finds Vanderslice. That's a long-range 3, and it's nothing but net. How's that one? That brought down some rain. It brought down, more importantly, 3 points on the scoreboard.
Listen, if you're going to foul anyway, you might as well go with some defense here. I would love to see Foreman back in the game. I'd love to see Solomon back in the game here. Maybe even Chris Allen, who we haven't seen much here in the second half. For more defense out there, you're going to go for the steal, and you're going to foul anyway, because even though it's a 6-point game, you can't allow them to run their offense.
51-45. Fred Melendez along with Dave Catalana here on S&J Today Facebook Live and YouTube Live.
Fred, you didn't listen to me last game. I said I needed a seatbelt. I need a seatbelt, Fred. I'm about ready to jump up. Take my headset off here in a second.
David. You'll be all right. All right, we'll see what happens here as St. Augustine down by 6.
Pressure right away. Try to first trap. And after the first trap, if they get across half court, you're fouling. That's what I would play it. We'll see how St. Augustine does.
Corbett looking to get the ball in. He finds a GK. Now the press. Corbett double team. They get it to Melvin, who finds a GK.
Foul him.
There you go. Oh, they basically grabbed him, and he's going to wind up with an easy 2. Well, they grabbed him, Dave. They didn't call it.
Well, maybe they were trying. I don't know.
The lead is now 8. Vanderslice to Kendrick. 122 and counting. Travis Stoll looking to drive. He is fouled by Okafor.
Same thing. You need to score here on that side.
Again, every point big here, so Stoll needs to make them.
You know, you mentioned it earlier. Has Camden Catholic substituted at all?
I don't know if they've made one substitution this entire game.
Stoll delivers both free throws. 53-47. They get it across the timeline. Dominic
should
Dunn.
just hold the ball.
Timeout, Camden Catholic. Well, there's still 107 left, still within 2 possessions.
107 left. Now, again, if you're Camden Catholic here, I'm going to get the ball into Dunn's hands, and St. Augustine has got to go to the foul route very shortly because you're not making that steal. So initial pass, one trap, then go for the foul. I'm surprised, like I said, I'm surprised they didn't foul GK when he caught it that last time. As you said, maybe they were trying to.
They were trying
couldn't
to
get it there.
Yeah.
So
I saw, I think it was Hargis trying to grab him from behind.
And if our graphics right, St. Augustine has one more timeout. Yeah, if you can somehow make a steal and score, you can call another timeout.
So Catholic with the ball. Dominic Dunn will inbound it for the Fighting Irish.
It's a good. Got Foreman back in the game here for defense for Vanderslice. Again, if you're going to go for the steal or a foul, and if you still score, you can call a timeout. So lots you can still do with 107.
So Dunn looking for a GK. Now he goes the other way. That's a long count. But they do get it to Corbett. Ball is tipped momentarily. Stoll has it.
Go to the glass.
Stoll gets the basket with 1 minute left.
No timeout. They're going to let it play out. He's got his defense in there, so it's fine. 4-point game and a good foul there.
And there's
Foreman.
the man you want to see foul, the GK.
Well, listen, I'm just going off of 2 foul shots
Right.
I've seen the young man shoot. I have no idea if he's a good foul shooter or not. He missed 2 earlier. You're playing the odds that maybe he'd miss again. Foreman's going to come out. Vanderslice's going to come back in. You still have a timeout in your pocket if you're Paul Rodeo. 53 seconds left.
2 very big foul shots for a GK.
So 1-1. And he nails it.
That looked a lot better than the other ones.
Same thing here. You can't allow a rebound if he does miss. Coach Rodeo telling his guys, go for the 2. You don't need the 3 if they score here, if they get the ball. Makes them both. Big time. Like
55, 49, 50 seconds
go to the glass,
left.
Marlon.
Vanderslice tees up another 3. That is his shot. That is his shot. And I'm telling you, when that pops up like that, he has nothing but twine. What a shot.
Well, I tell you what, you want to talk about a situation of a game that's not gone to script in any way, shape, or form. Right there, Coach Rodeo tells his team during the foul shot, we don't need the 3, go for the 2. And what do they get out of it?
They
get a
3.
Cole Vanderslice 3. And I tell you, early in the season, Cole was shooting the ball well. He has struggled. He has struggled through a big part of this season, but tonight he has hit a couple of big ones, and nothing bigger than that right now. 3-point game. You're right there with it. Now you're out of timeouts. St. Augustine's out of timeouts. So basically, the group you're going to have on the floor is going to defend, and I'm going to press here in the front court, in the back court, and once you break it, you're going to foul. If I'm Camden Catholic, 13 is getting the ball.
Yep.
I mean, he's your senior. He's been cool to the line. I know he missed the 1, but I got to believe he's the guy you're going to want at the line. St. Augustine needs to make something happen here off this inbound.
45 ticks left on the 4th quarter clock. It's a 3-point game, 55-52. Kedrick trying to keep it away from a GK. They do put it in Dunn's hands. St. Augustine just trying to trap him. The ball is up in the air, and the GK winds up with it, loses it out of bounds. He lost it out of bounds.
And all he had to do there was throw it ahead to Okafor.
He took his eye off of it. He took the eye off the ball, trying to drive to the lane.
Well, he had his man in front of him, too. St. Augustine's going to sub again. You don't have to have the 3, just like the last time. I'm going to let Marlon make something happen here, penetrate to the basket.
Final 30 seconds. Hargis sends it back. Stoll thought about it. They try to draw the charge. They draw the block instead. And they have a chance to tie the game with a free throw.
Well, we're going to get a look at it that no one else is going to get a chance to see. I don't know if there was any contact here to be either a block or a charge. I don't think it was a block. but let's see. He's there. There is a little bit of contact. If you're going to call it, I believe it's a block, not a charge, but I don't think it was anything. There's too much going on there, but St. Augustine will take that there.
It's up, and it's in.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
55. It's all fives on the board right now. 55-55.
And that's the last timeout for Camden Catholic.
I would have to think, Dave, they're going to set it for one shot.
Yeah, they're holding it. Listen, they're great at running their offense anyway. If you've got a chance to be here, there's no way you're letting St. Augustine get a last look. So you're taking the last one. You're going to run it down. Believe me, they've got plenty of stuff that they run at Camden Catholic. It's probably the same stuff they've been running for 25 years. They're going to have their best one drawn up. If you're St. Augustine here, there's two ways you can go. Do you play straight up man-to-man, or do you try to trap and do something like you've been doing to get it back in? If I'm St. Augustine, I'm playing straight up man-to-man. Unbelievable. Just absolutely unbelievable that St. Augustine is in this position, a tie score in this, which will probably be the last possession here.
You want to know why I love these things? This is why I love broadcasting.
This is why I gave up coaching.
Well, yeah, but I have a different perspective of it. I love watching. What a comeback. It's tied 55 with 22 seconds left. They double team. Corbett does get it to a GK. A GK. Looking for somewhere to go. He gave up the dribble. It's almost stolen. And out of bounds. It belongs to Camden Catholic. 11 seconds to
Could
go.
have very easily been a foul on Marlon Hargis there. Very easily could have been a foul.
They're letting him play at the moment. 11 ticks left on the clock. Camden Catholic with possession. More than likely looking for one shot.
Yep.
If they miss it, it's overtime.
No timeouts either way. 11, a lot of fives and a lot of ones up on that board right now. Look at this coming back. I could see it coming back to Dunn here. He's inbounding the ball. He's always dangerous as the inbounder. You can go right back to him. Travis Stoll has that assignment.
So Dunn will look to get the ball in. He gets it into Melvin. Akeem Melvin dishes. Oh, and it's stolen by Kendrick. 3 seconds. Here we go. No. They had a shot at it, and that's more than you expected at halftime.
Listen, I'm going to tell you what. Jordan Kendrick, I'm giving him that chance to go do that, and he almost made it happen. First of all, you see the play at the other end, the loose ball that Kendrick comes up with it, and he's got the sense to just go down the floor, and he almost got the roll that would have sent this place going crazy.
Might have been partially tipped by Dunn, but folks, stick around because we have free basketball for you. What a comeback, a 27-13 game at halftime. St. Augustine has come back to force OT. And Dave Catalana is just pondering life after coaching, I guess.
I got a lot going on there. And listen, what a great job there by Jordan Kendrick to push the ball down the floor and almost get it to roll in. Let's talk about the play that Travis Stoll made. Maybe a questionable block charge call, but he gets the bucket, makes the foul shot. And I mean, you don't get any better than this. What a great job by both of these teams to get to this point.
By the way, speaking of Travis Stoll, 11 points in that fourth quarter. How clutch is that?
Well, that's a senior that wants to keep on playing. That's what that is. 4
minutes of overtime. 55-55 in period 5. Camden Catholic wins the opening tip.
Now let's play straight. Now you got a 4-minute game in your home building. Let's play straight defense here.
Corbett guarded by Kendrick. Looking for somewhere to go. Drives it off the glass, and what a sweet touch off the glass.
That's a big-time play. Corbett has been pestered the entire game.
Meanwhile, Hargis comes back and puts it right in.
Oh, and a ton of contact there. That might have been an offensive foul, but no call.
57 all. Both teams answering on their first possessions. Melvin with the basketball. Hakeem goes to GK. Sends it back out. Melvin has it stripped momentarily. And now a whole contingent of players on top of him, and that'll be Hermit's basketball.
It's going to be Hermit's ball. You know, I have no reason to feel this way because Marlin has struggled the entire night. But you know what? Now may be time to let that kid go to work. Get him the ball, let him go to work.
3 minutes left in OT. Vanderslice to Kendrick. Travis Stoll. Dishes back out. Kendrick.
Swing it back around. Here you got Marlin. Ooh, the three.
Now. Great rebound. They battled for it and finally got a key rebound offensively.
That's exactly right. You're right there. Charles Solomon going to work and finding one there.
All right, so they reset. Kendrick.
I like the motion. A lot of movement. There it is.
The turnaround shot deflected. Okafor got a piece of it.
Little pump up and under there. Pump fake up and under from Marlin there instead of that little jump hook.
2:15 left in the first overtime. We're still tied. 57 apiece. Hakeem Melvin with the dribble, way outside. Coach Crawford instructing his team. A GK looking, good cut off by Stoll, looks to spin, and he's going to get it to go off the glass.
Nice move there by a GK, knew exactly what he wanted to do, took it down to the low block, and it was Vanderslice coming from behind. It was Vanderslice who was coming from behind and didn't look like he touched him at all, but maybe got a little piece of the arm.
Well, three-point play possibility with this shot. He's looking a lot better since that earlier two miss. 60-57.
You hear the defense, the Camden Catholic bench yelling, no threes. If I'm St. Augustine, I'm not going three here.
Oh, block along the baseline by Dunn.
Well, that's several times Dunn has tried to do that. He's been in position a lot of times. That time not completely out of position there.
All right, you have a 1-and-1 here, so you got a chance to cut it to one.
And you also got a chance to defensive sub here with Kevin Foreman coming in the game.
Travis with the first one, rattles in.
Rattle, swish, whatever happens, as long as what you say is in, we'll take it. Travis Stoll, big time minutes here in the fourth and in the overtime.
He's been clutch. 105 seconds left in overtime. Don't ask me how I know that. Oh, great play by Solomon. Up court, Hargis controls it. Blocked by the smallest guy in the court. Melvin with a big-time play for the Fighting Irish.
Well, that is, you said big time. That is one of the biggest time big plays you're ever going to see. What a job there by Melvin to climb the ladder and make the block.
So it stays 60-59. Corbett looking to drive. Dishing, great play by Stoll. I gave it away. That's unfortunate. He tried to save it. And now we get a foul.
Yeah, that's a foul. Travis Stoll all over the place trying to make something happen.
Watch this effort. Look at, he dove just to try to keep in bounds. Had he put a little more air in it, he would have had Kendrick, but what are you going to do? He gave it all he had.
Wow, but let's go back to the play made by Hakeem Melvin. My goodness. You look like you've got Marlon Hargis on his way in for a potential dunk, layup, something, and Melvin just, there it is right there. Look at this play by Melvin. That's incredible. I don't even think Marlon expected him to get up there with him.
And now he's got a chance to put his team up by 2, by 3.
Lots of time, 117, don't need the 3.
Hakeem Melvin with his second shot. That one goes in.
Well, what a couple of minutes. He's limping a little bit, but what a few minutes here for Hakeem Melvin.
62-59, 110. left on the clock. Hargis with the dribble. Melvin watching him. They play catch with Kendrick. Hargis doesn't get it to go, and Dunn collects the rebound, and that's a pretty big rebound for Camden Catholic. They don't have to rush here. And, boy, again, a lot of contact.
I thought Vanderslice was trying to foul.
Yeah,
now you're going to foul. They're literally trying to foul and not getting the call. Well, again, we said it earlier, you know, we thought he'd be the guy to foul, but he's gone to the line and he's made big-time shots.
Babatunde Ajike with 2 free throws coming up. If he hits either one, it'll be a 2-possession game. Boy, he's looking a lot sharper since that miss. GK with the second shot. Rotation is good. The shot is excellent.
5-point game. Once again, Coach Rodeo saying go for the 2 in the timeout. That you got to go fast. You got to go.
Hargis finds Kendrick open. Vanderslice swings it to Stoll. The shot is up and good.
Timeout. Is that a 3? It is a 3.
Yes, it is. He splashed it down from the left corner.
Well, not a whole lot of 3-pointers from Travis Stoll this year, but certainly none bigger than that one. To keep you in this game possibly here.
Well, he's had the hot hand in this fourth quarter and overtime. That's 16 points in those 2 sessions.
There's no question he's been the guy here for St. Augustine. Again, I don't know about him making threes, but that 3 is huge. So St. Augustine now, listen, the game plan is pretty simple here. You're going to press and trap the first one. If it crosses half court, you got one more trapping opportunity right over half court, but then it's got to be a foul. 2-point game. So if you're going to trade a foul shot at the other end, maybe you get a miss. I'm guessing now on who to foul because GK's made his. We know Dunn's going to make his, so it doesn't really matter.
Timeout brought to you by Toyota of Vineland. It is because of them that we've been able to bring you this kind of caliber basketball all season long, and we certainly thank Toyota of Vineland for that.
You're leaving, you got the inbounder with no one on them. They're going to be able to go back to him if it gets in.
Now, Okafor is all the way down court, and now not seeing anywhere to go with the basketball. Corbett wisely takes the timeout. So they saw what St. Augustine was going to do defensively, and now they're going to set up something different. 64-62, Camden Catholic with the lead. They led at halftime 27-13. St. Augustine with just 13 points in the first half, but they certainly turned it up and have created an overtime situation.
All right, so just check with the scores table. Both teams are out of timeouts. You only get one in the extra period. They had used all you get one additional, but they had used them all in regulation, so both teams are out of their timeouts now. So 64-62. So if St. Augustine can put that same pressure on and force either a 5-second call, long bad pass, there's no timeout left this time to bail out Camden Catholic. Now, one thing they can still do is run the line because it's still a timeout after the made shot. He's asking to make sure you see that, and the official is telling him he can still run the line. A lot of teams will throw it to another player out of bounds.
Let's see what the strategy is here on inbounding this ball. Patrick Corbett will handle it.
St. Augustine look to face guard and look at a 5-second count.
They get the ball into a GK. Now they get the whistle on Foreman. So GK can pretty much do a bit of a ceiling job. If he makes both of these free throws, it'd be a 4-point game.
Well, GK has made his last 4 foul shots, and he looks very confident heading right to the line here. Biggest thing here for St. Augustine is just a 2-shot foul. If he misses that second one, you have to make sure you rebound. Yeah, he is. So let's forget what we said earlier, because that young man is confident at the line.
Has a chance to put his team up by 2 possessions if he hits this shot. Ajike up and down.
Well, perfect shot there.
66-62.
Go to the glass. 4-point game.
Oh, they're going to call travel on Solomon, and that is probably going to be the last of it.
Well, you can't change what you're doing here. Face guard, deny, and foul right away. Face guard, deny, and foul if you need to. Foul right away.
Okay. So Ajike again going to the line, but he has made his last 5 free throws in a row.
You don't have a lot of choice. I mean, it's a 2-possession game now. Even if he makes 2, it's a 2-possession game.
He has found it, David.
Well, maybe he never lost it in the first place, but it's still going to be a 2-possession game. It's obviously a 3-point shot that you need at the other end. Good token pressure from Camden Catholic. Got to get the 3 up. Hargis is going to take it.
Off the rim, heading out of bounds, saved by Stoll. He gets it to Vanderslice, who puts up the 3 and finds a way
Foul right away.
Go.
They don't have to inbound.
That's it. The time is done. So Camden Catholic, a strong wire-to-wire effort, a big lead early. They stave off a tremendous comeback by the St. Augustine Prep Hermits, and they have every right to celebrate. They are celebrating a big-time victory in the semifinals.
But what a fantastic game. Comes right down to a couple of big plays late. You almost get the shot at the buzzer from Kendrick. You know, he brought him back in that game. Just so many plays and so many things that can happen. But just, first of all, we start off with the fact that it was a great high school basketball game.
Absolutely.
Started off in a way that we wouldn't have expected as poorly as St. Augustine came out. But what a job they did storming back, and what a job they did almost taking the win.
Well, the fact that they had a chance to win it in regulation on the very last shot, consider that a tremendous effort, because they were down by 14 at halftime. They didn't get back into this game too quickly into the fourth quarter, but then a bit of a surge here, and they Travis Stoll with that fourth quarter, 11 points in the fourth quarter, really jacked it up into an overtime situation. So a great job by both teams, David.
Well, it was again, maybe not the type of game anybody expected, or at least, you know, no one's expecting that sort of run that St. Augustine went on there in the third quarter. You did expect them to, you know, they weren't going to just run away and hide after that first half. As poor a first half as I've seen them play, and that you knew that they were going to come back with something, but in every kind of counterpunch, every punch or counterpunch that St. Augustine would make, Camden Catholic comes right back on the other way, comes right back on the other side, and almost pulled it out in regulation in a position where you never thought they were going to even get a shot at the end, as Camden Catholic had it, holding for that last one.
And of course, the guy that came up big at the end was Babatunde Ajike. He made 7 free throws in the overtime. He was 9 for 9 down the stretch, 20-point effort. So he certainly did a great job. He had 9 of the points in the overtime to finish with 20. And again, Travis Stoll, just totaling it up real quick here, he had 11 points in the fourth quarter, another 5. So he had 16 alone in the last quarter. At overtime, he had 7 before that, so he finishes with 23. He certainly laid out all the plays defensively, the plays along the sideline. That young man played a whale of a game.
The points are impressive of what Travis did there in that, but it was everything else that he was doing. He was all over the floor, literally all over the floor. He diving for the one, going into the stands for another, making a block on the other side. He was all over the place, and that's what you expect to see from a senior, you know, in that which turns out to be his last game in high school.
And of course, the big three, and just give credit to where it's due. Camden Catholic, their big three, Uche, Okafor with the rebounding efforts, the sharp shooting of Dominic Dunn, and of course, GK came up at the end and won it for him, basically.
Yeah.
So those three guys were great. But again, St. Augustine, the season finishes up with a 21-7 record. Anytime, I tell you what, you get 20 wins in high school, that's a good season for anybody.
Yeah, I'm sure that after a couple of days, and Coach Rodeo and his staff and some of the guys will start looking back, and they'll realize what that accomplishment was like and things like that. But right now, it's all about the idea that you're in your home building, and you come out with such a poor start and still fight your way back to get to the spot where you're in the game, number one. You make a play to almost win it at regulation.
Yeah.
And let's talk about, the shot didn't go in on the last one, but Jordan Kendrick pumped some life into them when they had none. He hit some threes. He was defensively, he was all over the floor. And just by saying that, let's give a lot of credit. To Patrick Corbett. I mean, that young man was being harassed the entire night. And when he had to, he got the ball where it had to go. He made a big shot here in the overtime. And that was really the defense that St. Augustine was doing. They were all over the place, and they almost, if not for a ball rolling off the rim, had a chance to advance to the next game.
We may as well mention the other guy too, Hakeem Melvin. He was also harassed throughout this game, but the block that he made on Hargis as well, I would never have thought that he could leap that high to make a block.
Well, and I don't think Hargis thought that as well. But
right.
You're talking about when you come to a game. We said this about the Paul VI game, a 1-point game. So many things happen in an overtime game. It's always going to be, there's going to be plays that happen. That was one. You want to talk about changing the tide. Marlon's going in I thought he was going to go up and dunk it, and as he goes up, and that young man just made such a great defensive play to knock it away, and then he comes back and hits the 2 foul shots right after that. Right. So just a really good, exciting high school basketball game. And you feel for the seniors at St. Augustine, Travis and Marlon get a lot of the playing time, so you feel for them that it's their last game. And here, Dan Inocenzo, the other senior that finishes out his career at home. And really, for Camden Catholic now, there's the opportunity for them to really take South Jersey, coming in here to this hostile environment and winning. Now they're going to go up against that Red Bank or St. Joe's and Metuchen, and they've got every opportunity to advance and represent South Jersey in the state final.
Quality basketball game, and we were so glad to present it to you. Want to give credit, as this is our last broadcast of the season. The crew that we work with is top-notch, starting with our producer, Ryan Schumacher. He keeps us straight with all the timeouts and everything. Great job by Ryan, and great job by everybody else. Charles Hope and Joe Coffin on the camera, and Kevin Rivera helping out with all the graphics that you see right there. Toyota Vinyl, we again tip the cap to you because you are the reason we are here as well. Sponsorship of Hermit's Basketball here on S&J Today. Facebook Live.
Yeah, and I got to say, Fred, first of all, like you said about this crew, phenomenal. Great job. We're able to broadcast these games because of our sponsor, Toyota Violin, and we can't thank Bob McCormick and those guys so much. I get calls all the time from friends, from alumni, from people all over the country that are able to follow Hermit's Basketball because of SNJ Today, Toyota Violin, and this is 5 years we've been doing. I can't believe it's 5 years already. It's been a blast. Yes, it's so much fun. I love working with you. It's just a great job, and I have so much fun. I would have loved to see this last one go St. Augustine's way, but sometimes the ball just doesn't roll that way.
Look, it was looking pretty sad for a while, but St. Augustine, tip of the cap to the way they played it down the stretch in the second half at overtime. But the better team won, okay?
They definitely.
You got to tip your cap to the streak that they had underneath the basket.
Yeah, and they did the things early in the game that completely came unraveled in the second half with some of the pressure, but they regrouped. They got their composure. and they went out in overtime, and they did what they had to do.
I'm not so sure they subbed at all, like you were saying. I think those 5 kids played the whole time.
Yeah.
So they played, 36 minutes of basketball.
Yeah.
That's a testament in and of itself. We're glad that you stopped by and watched this. Our final score tonight, Camden Catholic defeats St. Augustine 68-65. They will play in the South Jersey non-public A championship on Wednesday night. We wish them well, because if they play like that, it should be a barn burner of a game on Wednesday night. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next year, I guess, right? Dave, it's a pleasure working with you. Your knowledge of the game makes me look better, too. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you next year right here on S&J Today Facebook Live.